Good evening, Canada. We are back with a new episode of Voice of Canada. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my co-host, Cindy Young. And we have got a very, very learned person, Salman Tariq Khan.
Thank you very much.
Who is also in politics, and recently he tried to run for the Federal Conservative Party of Canada for the MP seat, but in the 11th hour, he was shown the red flag by the party executives, and he was not allowed to even compete in nomination meeting. Welcome to our show, Salman.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, SPG, and thank you to your co-host as well. It's always a pleasure to be in your company, and I'm grateful that you invited me for this conversation today.
Yeah.
And thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Cindy Young. I'm your co-host for this evening's show, and a very special welcome to Salman as our guest today.
Thank you.
And my first question is maybe if you can tell us a little bit about your ordeal by innocence, the setbacks you faced by the nominating candidate for our federal election by the CPC for April 28, 2025.
Well, I think this evening is going to be too short for me to explain what happened. I can write a book on it. And maybe
you can explain the main features
Yeah.
to our
Absolutely,
viewers.
but I appreciate you giving me this opportunity. So I started my campaign sometime in about 2023.
Soon after the COVID ended, pandemic was ending.
Yes, and it's been about 18 months grueling journey. But the takeaways is that I got to meet so many fantastic people. I had some amazing conversations about the present and the future of our great country, and this is what politics is about. So the end result was not something which anybody could foresee. Probably some people can visualize that, but to me, things are only black and white. I don't see anything else.
Definitely.
Being a Canadian, I'm a strong believer in rule of law, as we are all, and in any decent country and a society, democracy is the essence of everything. And when we talk about elections, democracy has to be it should go really deep. While nominations are part and parcel of our democratic system,
and that should be healthy.
Yes.
And it should be healthy.
Healthy.
Yes.
So, Salman, tell us briefly. You said you have spent nearly 18 months campaigning for nomination meeting, and during that period, how many members you signed for Conservative Party of Canada, and how was your experience?
Oh, that's a great question. Thanks for asking me that. So basically, I'll start off from where I hail from, is Mississauga Arran Mills. It's a great riding. It's so many amazing people, and I've lived my entire Canadian journey in Mississauga Arran Mills, that part of Mississauga.
And it's known as a Muslim riding also, in a short
yes,
form.
and we have somebody.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes, and we still have a Liberal incumbent who has been there for over 10 years now.
This is a fourth term.
Yes, so it was exciting and it was challenging, but I took the challenge, and in this very I would say diverse community of Mississauga Arran Mills, we got a very good response, and we went to door. We went through networking. We spoke to different community groups. And what you asked me is that how many people I signed up. So I signed up almost 1,500 people for Conservative Party of Canada in the riding of Mississauga Arran Mills. And when the final count came, there were about 3,200 signups altogether. And that was from 7 aspirants in the nomination
meeting.
So you can actually do the mathematics. If one person has signed up 1,500 people, there was a statistical, it was obvious that which way it's going to turn out. But what happened was very unfortunate, and I think that is denial of democracy.
Salman, if you can tell us something about your experience. Now, you've already given us some of it with the CPC. When you decided to run as a nominating candidate for Mississauga Erin Mills federal riding, how warmly were you received by the party's executive? And you completed your required formalities. If you can give us your full experience of this.
So, to me, we're all part of a mosaic, which is the beautiful mosaic of Canada. All parties are working towards making Canada a better place, and
Electing the
we are
best
not
candidate.
an adversarial system. We are in a system which promotes healthy conversations, and I, being part of that system,
And we promote
endorse-
multicultural.
Yes, multiculturalism, diversity, and to me, whatever is happening in actually post-pandemic, we are living in a different world. We have experienced, a lot of
Issues.
a lot of
Post-pandemic.
challenging issues.
Huge issues.
The crime has gone up, the
Yes.
affordability crisis,
Yes.
the housing shortage,
Yes.
the immigration, which is
And
out of
currently
spiral,
the
and
Trump issues, tariff
yeah,
issues.
and
A
very
huge
recently,
amount of
the next door new administration is got a certain unique mindset. So all these things need conversation, need a healthy political evolution, so that whosoever the people of Canada would elect would
Able
get
to
into the
deliver the
parliament
goods.
Right.
and deliver. So
sure.
that is Conservative Party of Canada is a fantastic platform, and the basic conservative values of fiscal discipline make us unique and make us different from the other platform, which is
Or
as
other
a
parties
Canadian,
also.
I am greatly attracted. So to me, the platform is more important than personalities. But as we'll talk more.
Further down,
I can tell you that what have been my experiences, but
Right.
unfortunately, it was not what I expected.
What you
Right.
expected. Salman, as you are aware of the fact that Conservative Party of Canada was formed in 2003 by Peter MacKay and Stephen Harper. Their own parties were merged into one party to make a stronger group, and that came out very well. And within a span of, I would say, 15 or 20 months, party came into power for the first time. The results were so good and so healthy because they were believing in the constitution of Conservative Party of Canada. But soon after Stephen Harper stepping down, and we had a wonderful period even during the interim period of Rona Ambrose, who made the interim leader by Stephen Harper. She served the party for about 18 months before handing the throne to Mr. Andrew Scheer, the MP, who is still, just now also he is the MP from Saskatchewan. So the thing was that party started slipping slowly and steadily. The actual problem with CPC nowadays is the policy makers, the bureaucracy. They are practically ruling the party, and that has ruined. And they have played so badly in this last election that they are without power for at least last 14 years now. So the desperation has also come in them, and they have become really, really hungry to snatch power. And when the mines went off, when the polls was 20 plus showing Conservative and the Liberals were down. But the fact was that the Liberal brand is very strong. The only thing was the people were fed up of the ruling Prime Minister. So as soon as Prime Minister Trudeau stepped down on 6th January 2025, immediately in a week's time, the polls completely changed. All the loyals and Canadians thought, okay, now is the time, because in the meantime, Trump was sworn in our neighboring USA, and he has started showing eyes, and we have started facing the difficulties in each and every house that has affected everybody, not only some other segment or everybody, but every house has been affected, and worse things are coming. So tell us, how would you feel in future? Would you mind joining the same party, or you will be changing your platform if you remain in politics?
So, SPG, politics is a journey that shall continue. As far as changing the party, I'm not going to get into that because my belief is in the platform, and I strongly would advocate the market economy based fiscal discipline right side of the equilibrium which conservative values reflect. So it's we living in a democracy, not in a dictatorship. As you have mentioned and took us through the last 15, 20 years in your discussion, in your point of view, I would agree with that. So we have Conservative Party has lost last 4 elections, and with this mindset, they would lose another 4 elections. I can tell you that. It's the on which imagination somebody can lose with a double-digit lead, and just in an over 30 or 45 days, it's only with this kind of mindset. So basically, we need to have a fresh thinking in Conservative Party and rid it of all these elements who have destroyed the values
This
of
party.
conservatism in Canada. And they have isolated Conservative Party into into a party of West, into a party of non-reality, into a party that is only representing just a typical brand of people. It is not Canada. So Canada is diverse, Canada is unique, Canada is evolving, Canada is changing. Canada is reality, and Canada is our love for all Canadians. And it's better for Conservative Party leadership to learn it earlier than better, or either they mend their ways and become true democratic. And it starts from the nomination process. So you have 338 ridings. So even if you have 140 or 150 incumbents, you still need to do 120 nominations. So what you have done is you have to look at your drawing board. These are the seats that you have already lost. And you need to have a thing called meritocracy, which should basically reflect in the way you do nominations. Yeah, I would like to dwell a little bit on this.
Go ahead.
With the Carney effect, yes, Liberals saw a huge turn of fortunes, and they won it. But I still believe that people wanted a change from the policy perspective, and basically, it's not Liberals who won, it's basically Conservatives who defeated themselves. So if you look at the different ridings, especially across Ontario, it is basically for everywhere they lose with about 2,000 to 4,000 votes. Now, just imagine if you what I've been learning in past 2-3 months and even a little longer is that they have done manipulated nominations in all these different ridings, which has seen these outcomes.
Results,
so if you can't understand the basic meaning that the will of people is the essence of democracy, how you expect that you are going to run this country? You cannot do that. The only way to do it is that you go down on the streets, on the roads, and knock on the doors and understand that you're living in a diverse Canada, which basically expects that there's going to be a healthy nominations. And if somebody who signed up 1,500 people can get you out more than 5,000 people, that will make a difference and will win you the riding. And that is how you could have formed the government. But unfortunately, it came out where the nominations were totally lopsided. They were, pre-established results, and this is not democracy. We are not living in a dictatorship. We are living in a democracy
Very
in the
correct.
great country of Canada, and I have no fear in saying that this bureaucracy who's running the show, who is, and I don't understand why bureaucracy is
They're
running the show.
They're totally gone outdated.
They
and they have
do
harmed
not
the party
understand.
very badly.
First of all, they are
Yeah.
they are not respecting Canada. They are not respecting conservatism. They are not respecting the will of the people. They are living in some
Illusions.
illusions, in foolish paradise. And with this mindset, they're going to lose another 4 elections, which I'm really depressed about. But what can I say?
Thank you. We'll be taking a short break and we'll be back with you soon. Welcome back after a short break in an episode of Voice of Canada. Your host Asphandiar, Wadiwalla, my co-host Cindy Young, and our guest speaker will continue this discussions is Salman Tariq Khan, who was a nominating candidate from Conservative Party of Canada of Mississauga Erin Mills riding. Welcome back.
Salman, you and your team, when you started your campaign for nomination, the polls of federal, the government was at up 20 points and against the Liberal Party of Canada. The morale of the party and all aspiring candidates was pretty high at the time, and all were eyeing to get their nomination in. What difficulties have you faced from the beginning to the end?
When you look at Mississauga Erin Mills, it has its own
Own demographics.
And the biggest challenge, I would be very, very transparent in saying that there is 1.8 million Muslims in Canada. They are playing a great role in the development,
And
in the
economic,
evolution, in the
Right.
economic, social, political, and all different variables of life in our great country. And there is no way that this mosaic would be complete without the Muslims of Canada.
Participation of Muslims.
And they're doing great when it comes to IT, when it comes to business,
Businesses,
when
So
it
many
comes
different
to
facets of our
jobs,
society,
and
for sure.
when it comes to integration, and when it comes to politics.
Yes.
If we look at across the board, different parties, for example, Liberal Party of Canada has given a lot of good opportunities to different
Yes.
Muslim
All communities.
aspirants who have
Yes.
come through the process.
Yes.
But the challenge is Conservative Party of Canada. Since 2015, since the Stephen Harper,
Step
in the last days of his government, he came out with a specific thing which offended Muslims of Canada. There has been a lot of gap. There's a lot of bridge. There's a lot of distance between
Right.
the Muslims and Conservative
The
Party,
Party of Canada, correct.
What needs to be done is to create an environment of confidence and confidence building measures. Any decent society, any decent frame of things would always appreciate to have a discussion, to have transparency. So when we talk about Mississauga Erin Mills, it is the heart of Muslim community of Canada. It has the most number of Muslims living in one
And
geographic
about
area.
27,000
Yeah.
votes have been registered.
Yes.
Wow.
So if you deny a fair system of nomination on the basis of your background, who is it serving?
Right.
That is against Canada. That is against our constitution.
Absolutely.
Charter of right, it
Yeah.
says that any kind of discrimination
Equality
Yeah.
is there.
is not
okay.
acceptable.
Yeah.
So I strongly believe in Canadian values. Whatever your way of belief or it is individual matter, and everybody should have a right to practice. Nobody should be discriminated,
No.
whether in a job or in any place
Anything.
of work, on the basis of one's belief.
Right,
And
absolutely.
when I took the onus to be the as the aspiring candidate from Mississauga Aaron Mills from the Conservative Party of Canada, I see it all the time that Muslims, they do not trust Conservative Party. And then I had so many educating discussions where I learned from them
Yeah.
what are the challenges, what are the
Like,
objections,
what's
and then
causing
I
that, yeah.
overcome those objections, and I created an environment that we are living into 2025. There's going to be a new
And you'll
leadership,
bring a change.
that will appreciate your contribution, our contribution in Canadian politics. And with just one stroke of pen, they have dismantled the confidence, the space that was created by Muslim aspirants, candidates of nomination in Canada from the Conservative Party of Canada, without realizing that you are basically destroying the fabric of our society, which is built on diversity.
Right.
Thank you.
Wow.
So, Salman, tell us the basic issues confronted by Conservative Party, like the grassroots. They are not being respected. They overruled the grassroots. They overruled the EDAs, and they selected parachuted candidates of their own choice.
So it makes me look like if I was contesting election in a sub-Saharan, nation where there is a head of party who's going to influence the outcome, who's going to run. So it's been that bad, to be honest.
It's that bad, yeah. But still, in your riding of Aaron Mills, they had the namesake nomination of the two candidates from the same party, same religion, same faith, and rest were all discarded.
I would have turned Mississauga Aaron Mills in this color if they had given me a fair opportunity, which they did not. And what they have done in doing that is they have destroyed the hopes of all those people who were converted from Liberal Party to take the membership of Conservative Party of Canada in the heart of Muslim community, which is Mississauga Aaron Mills. And it was a great chance, great opportunity to turn this riding into a blue riding. And these people who made this decision have zero knowledge or understanding of grassroots and EDA level politics. They don't understand what is the mindset. And as I was talking and getting deep into that discussion, 18 months was a long time. And we had thousands of conversations and there was people who were basically made to understand that politics is not about who you are, how you pray. It is about how to make this country better. And we have challenges, of lawlessness. We have challenges of no opportunities for our kids. We have challenges where affordability is just gone out of the roof. So these are the things which are discussion points.
Plus the housing.
Yes. And they could see that, past experiences where Muslims have been shut door from conservative platform. Now there is somebody who is aspiring to become the candidate, and he will go through the nomination. And if the people of Mississauga Aaron Mills want to elect somebody,
give him a
fair deal. And again, when it happened, those people, I've heard people being so emotional, people telling me that they have returned the membership of Would you believe this?
Yeah.
I can tell you,
it's a very common
there
thing.
are so many people who have wrote back to Conservative Party of Canada that they want to cancel their membership. So you can imagine the space that was created by me and my team to bring Muslims and Conservative Party of Canada together was suddenly again finished.
get back to square one. Yeah.
It got back to square one. And again, do the mathematics. You have 1.8 million Muslims of Canada who can make a difference in 30 to 35 ridings, and you lose with that number, and you lose in GTA, and you lose in Ontario,
Truly
and
sad.
you are not doing fair nominations which reflect the will of people. Are you living in cuckoo's land or what?
Okay, so Salman, as you are aware that in the end, there was only the campaigning for 30 to 35 days when the writ fall, and it became a one-point agenda. The one-point agenda was that who will be the best person to tackle Donald Trump of his tariffs. Otherwise, all the agenda of conservatives failed. Carbon tax and everything prior to this election, the interim prime minister abolished carbon tax on consumers. So everything went totally out of control. And even you are aware of the fact that most unfortunate thing happened, that the leader of the party who hold that seat for 20 long years lost his own seat, and he's no more MP. He's outside the house like a common citizen of Canada. So the conditions are so bad with this party, it needs overall reforms. They have lost two leaders earlier, and I think the third leader will also be lost. They must start respecting the grassroots people, the EDAs, and reorganize the party. What suggestions would you give?
Oh, I am going to be part of a forward bloc that we are already in discussion with all those like-minded people who want to reform this party. And the way things have been handled, as you've rightly said, is a show of disgust. There are people who need to be unmasked, and these are the people who are taking the party for granted. They have played havoc with the wishes of people, and when somebody loses his seat, that shows truly that how people perceive this leadership. And to be honest with you, if they come to even my house and tell me that you run again in the next election under this leadership, and I'm on air telling them, I'm sorry, I have zero confidence in your abilities to run Conservative Party of Canada in the great country of Canada, and I have lost all my hopes in this present
party.
No, in the leadership.
Leadership in the
I'm not in the party. You see, the platform, I strongly believe, because I'm a student of economics, I'm a student of law, that it's a great way to increase value in our in our economy by introducing reforms which are market-based and create more opportunities. We need to fix housing. We need to fix our immigration. And if we have merit-based other side of the equilibrium where a great thinking can prevail and would have a great outcome for the people of Canada.
The party had appointed self-appointed operatives. I'm using a very, very diplomatic word. Did any operatives approach you?
Oh, yes. In GTA, they've been running the show like a mafia. And
The corruption
sometimes
went to that extent.
I moved to this country about 12 years ago. And you know me, SPG. I'm a strong believer in the greatness of this country. And when this thing over last 18 months or 2 years, what I've seen is make me into a state of despair that how we can drop so low, how we can
stoop that low,
how we can scoop that
with
low,
our principles.
and it's very unfortunate.
Very sad.
It's a sad state of affairs.
Yes.
As I told you that we are already talking with the like-minded people, and we are going to come out
As a forward group.
As a forward group, and we're going to take head on this leadership and bring them to the reality that they are not accepted by the people of Canada, by the people of Ontario, by the people of GTA, by the people of Mississauga and Mississauga Erin Mills. And this is my message to them, that we want a change in Conservative Party of Canada. We will like to be the voice of this platform to the people when we go door knocking, but we can't work with the present state of affairs where the leadership is blackmailing
and corrupt, gone corrupt.
Yes, and you know the inside story that they've been how would you say, carriers who've been operating in GTA and collecting financial
benefits. So Salman, as you pointed out, the ordeal of your nomination meeting, would you like to give a final remark to our viewers, what they should do, and in future how they should look at the Conservative Party of Canada? Over three dozen loyal Conservative members have stepped aside of this party who were there since the founding years. So you can imagine what they are going through.
Basically, we just have to go to our basics. What is Canada? Canada is a beacon of hope. Why it is a beacon of hope? Because we are a democratic, progressive nation. So in all fairness and all definitions of progressive and being a beacon of hope, we need to reflect same through our democratic system. We need to reflect our democratic values, and the democratic values will only come when you will respect the wishes of people of Canada. We are not living in a dictatorship. We are not living where the will of people would be suppressed by bureaucracy. We are living which it will give all equal opportunity, irrespective of where you come from. But since you're in Canada, it gives you that platform to do well and do great for this great country. I see a huge future because I'm a strong believer in Canada, and I believe that we can get rid these unmoral, unethical elements and rid them from Conservative Party of Canada. It is a great platform.
New blood into the party.
And we need to come to realities of Canada. Canada has changed. It's high time either these people change or they can exit. So that's what I
Thank you, Salman, for your valued views. As the guest speaker has already given his final remarks, and our time is also running short, so we would like to say good night, goodbye. God bless Canada. God save our King.